Hey everyone, it's me, Collector Movie Man, and I'm here to do part two of my physical media show off. And this time it is my Blu rays. So I'm going to start with my first Blu ray right now. We got Good Will Hunting, is one of the ones I own. Very good movie with Matt Damon and Robin Williams and Ben Affleck. Sorry about the glare, guys. Maybe when I eventually get a computer, I'll be able to do better with this. I'm just checking to see if anyone's in the chat right now. That's all. So far, no comments yet. All right. Next is Insomniac. This is a movie with Al Pacino, Robin Williams, and Hilary Swank. It's directed by Christopher Nolan. Next is Number One with a Bullet. It's a movie with Billy D. Williams. I'm trying to collect all his movies because I know he's getting up there in age, and we don't know how much longer he'll be around. So, want to try to get all his movies. Next is Air with Matt Damon, Ben Affleck, Chris Tucker, and Viola Davis. Very good movie. Really enjoyed this one. So, next is Extraordinary Measures with Ben Affleck and Harrison Ford. Continuing my Harrison Ford collection. Next is Liar Liar, one of my favorite Jim Carrey movies. The scene where he's in the bathroom and he's slamming his head against the with the seat is just so funny, and then he runs into the wall and what's the other thing? He starts beating himself up. I just find absolutely hilarious. Next is Spotlight on Blu-ray, one of my favorite Best Picture winners. Um, it's got a really good cast. Mark Ruffalo, Michael Keaton, Rachel McAdams, and Stanley Tucci. Hello. Hey, Acres of Movie. How are you doing tonight? Next is The Santa Claus. What's my favorite Robin Williams movie? Mrs. Doubtfire. And then next is um Good Will Hunting. My next movie I have is Christopher Robin. I think this is a pretty good movie. I enjoy it. It's got Ewan McGregor in it, and I enjoy the story. It's a cute story. Um, I don't know. I don't think I do. I don't think I have any favorite haunted house movie. Does are you talking about this one right here? Does this have any special features? Um uh it says Pooh and Friends see Love and Magic special something. I don't know. I'm just guessing there's a little bit of special features because there's a disc in here. At least I think there's a disc in here that says special features. No, I never have. I've never been there. Next is Prince of Persia. I know a lot of people hate on this movie, but I didn't find it too bad. Oh, thank you very much. Make sure to smash the like button. Sorry, my speech wasn't coming out. But I enjoyed this movie. I think the acting is okay. I think the action is good though. Now, a one I'm probably going to get a lot of hate on, but I enjoy this movie for what it is. I know it doesn't follow the story faithfully, and I know people did not like the casting for it. Exodus, Gods and Egypts. I enjoyed this movie. Oh, does Air have any special features? Hold on, let me take a look. No, it does not. Air does not have any special features. Unfortunately, Acres of Movie. Next is The Whale, one of my favorite Brendan Fraser movies. Next to the Mummy movies, all of them except Mummy 3. I don't like that one. But this, Mummy 1 and 2, are some of my favorite movies with him. This is my next movie, The Impossibles, or The Impossible. Very good movie, and it's based off a true story. It's about the tsunami that hit, I think it was some island, and there was a family there vacationing, and they get swept up. And, um, but all I know is this is a really good movie. It's got Ewan McGregor, Naomi Watson, and it's also got a young, um, oh my gosh, I'm gonna draw a blank on his name now. Young, the the actor who plays Spider-Man in right now. It's got a young him when he was young in it. Another one of my favorite movies, Imitation Game. This is based on a true story. It's about the guy who is very good at like puzzles and everything, and he's sent to like a top secret place to decrypt the Nazi code during World War II. I forget what the thing is. It's like some sort of machine that the Nazis built, and he he is responsible for the very first computer that was ever made during World War II. This guy, um, I forget the actor he's playing, but um, and then he's also actually he's gay too, but he ends up marrying her, um, Karen Knightley's character. But this is a really good movie. If you like movies that are based off true stories and around World War II, definitely recommend checking this out. One of my favorite movies from last year, but did not make my top 10, Challengers. I really enjoyed this movie. I wish we would have gotten a 4K of it though. I think that would have been amazing. It deserves a 4K. And next is the Taken trilogy, 1, 2, and 3. We will probably never get these on 4K because boom, 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 Disney owns it. So don't expect um, um, a 4K of them anytime soon. Next, I have the 4-film collection of Pierce Brosnan James Bond. And I will say I like GoldenEye, Tomorrow Never Dies, World's Not Enough, and some parts of Die Another Day. Not all of Die Another Day I like. Next is Rush Hour trilogy. They keep on saying we're going to get a fourth Rush Hour, but it still hasn't happened yet. And Jackie Chan is getting kind of old, so if they're going to do it, they need to get cracking. Next is Peter Pan on Blu-ray. And then Jungle Book on Blu-ray, the live action. I actually got this for a good deal, only $6. And it's got a lenticular slipcover on it. It's hollow. Graphic. Next is Random Hearts with Harrison Ford, continuing my Harrison Ford collection. And next, another Harrison Ford thing, 1923. I really like this show. I think it's very good. And I really want to watch season 2. Next is a Denzel Washington movie. Sorry about that. It's got Matt Damon, Meg Ryan, and Denzel Washington in it. This movie was pretty good, but I don't know. I just didn't really care for it, but I enjoyed some parts of it. And this is also owned by Disney. So, boom, boom, boom. Probably won't get a 4K. Another Denzel Washington movie. Um, Little Things. I know a lot of people didn't like this movie, but I bought it just to complete my Denzel Washington collection. Next is The Siege with Denzel Washington and Bruce Willis. Very good movie, but will probably never get a 4K because it's owned by boom, 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 Disney. Another Denzel Washington movie that I own this one I actually enjoyed. It's based off a real person and I enjoyed the story. I just can't remember what the story's about. So, and this one is owned by Columbia Pictures slash Sony. So maybe Sony might put out a 4K, or if they do another Columbia Pictures box set, we might get it. And actually, this has Denzel Washington and Colin Farrell in it. And Colin Farrell's actually pretty good in this movie. Next, Anton Fisher. This is probably one of my favorite Denzel Washington movies, but I'm not 100% sure. This may be like my number 3 favorite Denzel Washington movie. But guess who it's owned by? Boom, boom, boom. Disney. So we'll probably never get a 4K. Next is Taking a Pelham 123. I actually really enjoyed this movie with John Travolta and Denzel Washington. I find it very intense and very good. And this is owned by Sony, it says, slash Columbia Pictures. So, Sony, why have you not put this out on 4K or in the Columbia Pictures box set? Next is this one with Denzel Washington and Julia Roberts. I do not remember very much about the movie, but I thought it was pretty good. I think it's like a crime movie, and this is owned by Warner Brothers. So, Warner Brothers, get on it, put it out on 4K. You don't have to wait for an anniversary. Next is Safe House. I actually really enjoy this movie with Denzel Washington and Ryan Reynolds. I enjoy the action. I enjoy a lot of the movie. It's very good. Um, it is owned by Universal. So Universal, get on it. Put it on 4K. I think it would sell. Oop. Next is Reservation Road with Leonardo DiCaprio and Kate Winslet. I still have not watched this yet, but I'm going to soon. Next is National Treasure, one of my favorite Nicolas Cage movies. And of course, it's owned by Boom 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 Disney. So we'll probably never get a 4K. Unfortunately. Another one of my favorites, Moulin Rouge. This is a really good movie with Ewan McGregor and Nicole Kidman. And when I saw this movie, I did not know Ewan McGregor could sing as good as he did. His voice is outstanding. He should be in more musical movies. He is really good. Oh, and if you want to know, it is owned by Boom 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 Disney. So, very unlikely we'll get a 4K. Next is 127 Hours. Very good movie, very intense, and very hard to watch, especially the one scene. If you know what I'm talking about and you've seen the movie, I have to look away every time. And this is owned by Disney as well. So we'll probably never get a 4K. Next is Lincoln. I just watched this recently. I thought it was really good. Daniel Day-Lewis does an excellent job as Lincoln, and there's a lot of good cast members in this. Um, uh, um, I can't think of his name right now, and her name. Oh my God! But I know Daniel Day-Lewis is in it, and then uh, crap, I can't think of his name either. All right, next. Oh, and that is owned by Disney as well. Boom, boom, boom. We won't get a 4K. Next is Ransom. Very good movie with Mel Gibson and the lady who played in she played in Lethal Weapon. Um but I really enjoyed this movie. I think it's really good and it definitely deserves a 4K, but because it's owned by boom 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 Disney, we'll probably never get it. A movie with Anthony Hopkins, trying to complete my Anthony Hopkins collection because I know he's getting up there in age and he won't be around too much longer. Oh, and this is owned by Paramount, Paramount slash Miramax. So, Paramount, if you're listening, or Miramax, get on it, put it on 4K. Next is Shakespeare in Love. I think this movie's really good. It's got young Gwyneth Paltrow in it, and Colin Farrell, and Ben Affleck, and Judi Dench. And you get to see Gwyneth Paltrow naked a few times. So that's always a plus. And this is owned by Miramax and Paramount. So, Paramount, if you're listening, or Miramax, put it out on 4K for us. Next is Shang. I won't be able to say the name, but a very good movie with Jackie Chan and Owen Wilson. Really enjoy these. Very funny, very action packed. And who is it owned by? Oh, boom, boom, boom. Disney. So we probably won't get a 4K. Another one of my favorites, The Girl Next Door. I think this girl in this movie is smoking hot. She's like my favorite part of this movie, and I just really enjoy the film too. I think it's funny. I think it's got some dark humor in it, and it's got a little bit of everything for everyone. But guess who it's owned by? The one and only boom 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 Disney. So we probably won't get a 4K. Definitely for that. And next is Mrs. Doubtfire, one of my favorite Robin Williams movies. Probably my most favorite Robin Williams movie. Next to Aladdin and Good Will Hunting. And we all know who owns this. Unfortunately, boom, boom, boom. Disney. I know this movie had its 20-year anniversary just recently, and Disney missed the bullet on it. They did not put it out on 4K. So if they can't put it out for their 20-year anniversary, we're not even going to get it anytime soon. That's all I got to say. Next is another movie with Harrison Ford, and this has young Chadwick Boseman. Oh my God, I'm sorry if I butchered his name, but this is a really good movie. It's got Harrison Ford and Chadwick Boseman, and it's owned by Warner Brothers and yeah, Warner Brothers. So Warner Brothers, if you're listening, put this out on 4K. Now, this is one of my favorite Jake Gyllenhaal movies and Anthony Hopkins and the guy who played Riddler in the new Batman movie, Prisoners. Very, very good movie. Um, Definitely needs a 4K because this movie is outstanding. Very sad though, but it is one of the best. And I definitely think Hugh Jackman should have been nominated for Best Actor for this movie. Next movie, The Fighter. I enjoyed this movie. I thought it was pretty good. Christian Bale is really good in it. Same with Mark Wahlberg. And I'm not even the biggest Mark Wahlberg fan, but I liked him in this movie. And this is a movie that my mom gave me. It's called Dream House. I thought it was pretty good. It's got Naomi Watson, Rachel Weisz, and Daniel Craig. Next movie is the 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 Foreigner with Jackie Chan, and it's also got Pierce Brosnan in it. I would like a 4K of this movie, but I don't think we're gonna get one. And another movie that we have to talk about here because Disney owns it. Home Alone 2. They put the first one out on 4K, but where the hell is the second one on 4K? This is my favorite Home Alone movie. I really don't like the first one because of the spider in the movie, but I love this movie right here. I'll always watch this one over the first one. Home Alone. And one of my favorite childhood movies, Bambi. I remember crying when I saw this movie, and it still makes me cry to this day. But this movie, and I really like Thumper in the movie. What I used to do when I was a kid is I used to stomp my feet like Thumper used to, like he did in the movie. Oh, and Dis. Ah! Sorry, guys. My stand almost fell. Um, Disney, where is a 4K for this? Seriously, get on it. Next is another Denzel Washington movie, John Q. Very good movie by him. And I think his performance is outstanding in it. And we'll probably never get a 4K because I think this is owned by Disney. I'm not 100% sure. It says New Line Cinema. It um could be Warner Brothers, or it could be uh Amazon. Next is The Bone Collector. Very good movie with Denzel Washington and Angelina Jolie. I remember hearing something that we were supposed to get a 4K of this, but I can't remember. I remember seeing something floating around the internet about it. I think it was Kino that was supposed to put out a 4K. Next is Flight, one of Denzel Washington's best movies. I think is outstanding in this movie, and he was nominated for Best Actor for this movie. He should have won for it, but he didn't. And I think this movie definitely deserves the 4K treatment. And it is owned by Paramount. So, Paramount, get on it. Next is Deja Vu, another really good movie with Denzel Washington. But we know who this is owned by. Boom, 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 Disney. So we'll probably never get a 4K. Now, the next four of these are like my top four favorite Denzel Washington movies. Number one is Man on Fire. This movie deserves 100% deserves a 4K. I don't know why Disney has not put this out. It would sell. So get off your ass, Disney, and put it out. Another good Denzel Washington movie is Fences, and this got Viola Davis and Denzel Washington. And Denzel Washington, I actually think, won Best Actor for this movie, and Viola Davis won Best Actress for this movie. And this is owned by Paramount. So, Paramount, get off your ass and put this movie out on 4K. Next is Remember the Titans, another one of my favorite Denzel Washington movies. And we all know who owns this. Boom, boom, boom. Disney. So don't expect to ever get a 4K. And my last favorite with Denzel Washington is the the Great Debaters. It's based on a true story, and it's got Denzel Washington and Forest Whitaker in it. This movie I thought was really good. And I don't know who this is owned by. It's not Disney. It's not any of those people. I'm not sure. And then my last Denzel Washington movie that I think I have in this collection is Unstoppables. Unstoppable. Very good movie with him and Chris Pratt. Oh no, Chris Pine. Sorry. I get all the Chris's mixed up. But I really like this movie. I think it's intense. It's on the edge of your seat. It's got some really good action in it. And I think it definitely deserves a 4K. But you know who owns it? Boom, boom, boom. Disney. So very unlikely that we'll get a 4K. This one is I'm very annoyed with because we got the first movie in 4K, but we don't have any of the other ones. The Die Hard trilogy. Now, I will say the only movies I need from the Die Hard trilogy in 4K are two, two, three, and four. I do not need five. Five is a piece of garbage. I'd rather have that be thrown out a window. I cannot stand the fifth Die Hard movie, but I love all the rest of them. So please, Disney, get off your ass and put out 2 through 4 on 4K. They would sell. Now, another one I have to talk about is right here. I don't understand why they're doing this, but we're getting Lethal Weapon, the first one, in May, but we're not getting the rest of them on 4K. So, what the heck, Warner Brothers? Why can't you just put them all out? Why wait for the anniversaries? That makes no sense. But I am getting the the 4K of Lethal Weapon when it goes up for pre-order, and I'll still hold on to this though for the rest of the movies. Next is Las Vegas. This is has Michael Douglas, Robert De Niro, and Morgan Freeman. I think it's a really good, well, not really good. I think it's a fun comedy for like people in their 60s and 70s. It's about these group of old men. Michael Douglas is getting married to a girl who is like 15 years or 20 years younger than him. And he wants to go with his guys for one last blowout. And they go to Vegas for the bachelor party. And he realizes he finds somebody else who he gets along with much better. So, and they just have one last crazy night before before he gets married, but he ends up not getting married to that other person. Another movie I really like, Nonstop with Liam Neeson. I know a lot of people didn't really care for it, but I think it's really good. Patch Adams, Meet Joe Black. This is a movie that has Anthony Hopkins in it and young Brad Pitt. I got this movie because it has Anthony Hopkins in it, and I'm trying to complete my collection of his movies. Next two are Meet the Falker, Meet the Parents, and Meet the Falkers. Two very good comedies, and I can't believe they want to remake these movies. The first two are just perfect how they are. They don't need to do any remakes. Leave this alone. But also put the first two out on 4K, whoever owns it. Next is another movie with Harrison Ford. It's called Crossing Over. And this movie my mom gave me, Memory with Liam Neeson. I still haven't watched it, but I think it's a pretty good movie. May not be like for everyone, but I usually like these Liam Neeson action movies. They're not very well acted, but there's some good action to them. Next is my Clint Eastwood, Million Dollar Baby, one of his best movies that he ever directed and that he stars in. It's got Clint Eastwood, Hilary Swank, and Morgan Freeman. Another one of my favorite movies that he directed is Gran Torino. It takes place in Detroit, and the very end of the movie is right near this river where I used to live. Another movie that we need on 4K because I think it would sell and I think it's good. It's not for everyone, but I enjoy the story of it. And it's like the closest thing we got to like the true event of Pearl Harbor. So the movie's called Pearl Harbor, obviously, but it's the truest like retelling of the story. And I think this movie deserves a 4K. But we know who owns it. Boom, boom, boom. Disney. Our last 4 movies and then 2 TV shows. Um, this one with Anthony Hopkins and Alec Baldwin. I thought this movie was really good. And I think if they put this movie out on 4K, the snow sequences would really pop. It would look amazing because of all the snow and everything. And I think the bear would look really cool also. Oh, and by the way, Disney owns that one, so I doubt we'll ever get a 4K. Next movie is Bridge of Spies. Very good movie with Tom Hanks. This movie was actually nominated for Best Drama, but the only bad thing is it's owned by Disney. So, boom, 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 probably won't get a 4K. Next is Castaway, another movie that needs a 4K. I think it would look outstanding in 4K. But the only bad thing is, boom, 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 Disney owns it. And the last 2, Knocked Up, one of my favorite comedies with Seth Rogen. And this is the one movie I would love for Lionsgate Limited to put out. And if they put this out with a steelbook, I would buy it day one. Silver's Lining Playbook. This movie still does not have a 4K. So come on, people. Come on, Lionsgate. Put it out. Next is Person of Interest, Season 1. It's a Blu-ray DVD combo pack. And then the last thing is Wednesday on Blu-ray that I have still not watched, but I will be soon. All right, everyone. Thank you for watching my video. And don't forget to hit the like button and leave a comment on what movies you liked in my collection, what Blu-ray movies that you liked in my collection. And see you next time. Peace out. I will be back on March 2nd, I think, to show off all my 4Ks. And then the last video will be a few weeks after that with my 4K Steelbooks. So I hope everyone joins then.